KIC 8462852 might sound like a randomly generated password to you, but I'm willing to bet if you've watched this channel long enough, you've actually heard it before. It's the name of a star, also known as Tabees star, and it set the internet ablaze a couple years back when it dimmed in ways nobody could really explain, unless you pinned it on aliens building massive structures to power their civilization. Since then, though, we haven't seen the star's light fade, and so public interest in it did. But in April of 2017, light levels started dropping again, giving astronomers new clues to come up with new ideas. Are any more compelling than a giant energy-harvesting megastructure built by aliens? I'll let you be the judge of that. First, a refresher on why Tabees star is so mysterious. In 2011, the Kepler Space Telescope observed its light dimmed briefly by 15%. Almost 2 years later, it temporarily dimmed again, this time by about 22%. Often, a drop in a star's light levels is a sign that a planet is passing in front of it, but even a planet the size of Jupiter would only block about 1% of the light coming from a star like this. And the dimmings caused by planetary transits should be symmetrical and at regular periods, but these aren't. They're erratic and all over the place and can last anywhere from 5 to 80 days. What we have on our hands, gang, is a mystery. An early explanation from 2015 was comets were knocked out of their orbit by a nearby star, and as they plummeted towards Tabees star, they collided and created a debris cloud. At the time, that was the best-fitting solution that didn't involve a Vogon constructor fleet. Since that idea was first put forward, astronomers have taken a look at the data going all the way back to the 90s, the 1890s that is, and it turns out the star isn't as bright as it used to be. As you'd expect from a star this uncooperative, it's faded erratically, but overall it's dimmed 16% in the last century. Comets can't really explain the long-term dimming, so that idea is pretty much out. But maybe the slow fade is evidence of something else. Some of the first explanations proposed dust from early planets forming could be the cause, but Tabees star is too old to just be forming planets now. One idea put forward in 2016 is kind of the opposite. Instead of a new planet, what we're seeing is the aftermath of an X-planet, one that crashed into the star about 10,000 years ago, causing a flare-up that the star is slowly coming down from, like a long, drawn-out belch. That could account for the long-term evidence, while orbiting remnants of the planet cause the more dramatic short-term drops in brightness. After this latest dip, yet another idea has emerged. What if it's a really, really big planet with some buddies? Trojan asteroids are rocky bodies that share the orbit of a planet. They hang out in Lagrange points, where the gravitational forces between the star and the planet are balanced. Jupiter has big groups of Trojan asteroids, so we've seen the phenomenon happen before. Maybe the Trojans caused those erratic dips, and the massive planet caused some of the more regular ones. For this explanation, the planet would have to be about 5 times the size of Jupiter, though, and Jupiter is just about as big as a planet can get before it starts fusing hydrogen and becomes a star. But the nice thing about this idea is it makes a prediction. If it's true, the Trojan asteroids will transit again in 2021, followed by the gigantic planet in 2023. Until then, we're just going to keep our eyes on the skies in case KIC 8462852 decides to do anything else weird. Special thanks to our sponsor, Domain.com. When you buy a domain name from Domain.com, you're taking the first steps in creating an identity and vision for your brand. No domain extension will help tell your story like a .com or .net domain name. Get 15% off Domain.com's already affordable domain names and web hosting when you use coupon code SEEKER at checkout. 1.4 million of you watched Trace and astronomer Aaron White talk about Tabees star 2 years ago. But if you weren't among them or want to believe that aliens did it, check out the original video here. So, do any of these ideas sway you, or are you still voting aliens? Let us know in the comments, like this video, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode of Seeker.